They're laying up treasures which moth and rust will corrupt and thieves will break through and steal. It's a fool's life. If you're spending all your time trying to handle your business and your farm and whatever, maybe you're missing out on the secrets of God. Maybe you're missing out on some occasional visits. And some nice times with Mother Earth, too. Isn't this great? I love how he talks about Mother Earth. In whose odorous herb garden I love to stroll sometimes. That's all of Earth. Have you ever thought of Earth as an odorous herb garden? It's a giant herb garden. She dwells in my neighborhood, invisible to most persons. Why is she invisible to most people? Because they're all so busy with their farms and doing things and living a stony life. This is pretty powerful stuff. I mean, he's really attacking people, but he's also giving people a really nice experience. A ruddy and lusty old dame who delights in all weathers and seasons and is likely to outlive all her children yet. You know, it kind of puts a sense of, you know, what is this life all about? We're all going to die, you know? Why aren't we having fun? Why aren't we doing what we want to do? Okay, so there you go. That's kind of one of my proofs to say that Walden Pond is about glorifying God and enjoying Him forever. That is the chief end of man. Thoreau agrees with that statement, but he puts his own interpretation on that. And that's what Walden Pond is. And it's a radical interpretation. It's radical. So let's go back to where we are here. When we consider what, to use the words of the Catechism, is the chief end of man, and what are the true necessaries and means of life, the true necessaries and means of life. Is that one of the questions? No, not the ones that I know of. It appears as if men had deliberately chosen the common mode of living because they preferred it to any other. They deliberately chose it. And deliberate is a huge word in Walden Pond. You've all probably heard that quote, you know, I went to the woods to live life deliberately. I don't know, is that in the beginning of this? I can't remember. I don't know. Well, it's not in this. It must be coming later on. We'll get to it. They deliberately chose the common mode of living, you know? And and when you get in that cycle of like the 9-to-5 job, I'm always making this as a job, but it could also be a relationship, or it could be your food habits. You know, it could be anything. You know, just something in your life that you're not liking. But you get into the common mode of living, and then you've got to really. It takes work to get out of it. You got to work on the weekends. You got to work after work. You got to do more to pull yourself out. It's hard. But people deliberately chose that because they preferred it to any other. Because the other is risky. You got to take a risk if you want to get out of the common route. And isn't this what America's all about? It's about getting out and living your own life. So I actually am starting to develop a little bit of an argument against those people that think that if everybody lived like Walden Pond, we'd all be a bunch of losers in a country like Zimbabwe with no, economy. I actually wonder if that's not true at all, quite frankly. And I think that the new technological age, the new internet age, and the younger generations of kids, and like myself, I'm not really in that group. I'm not a tech guy, but I'm in that generation. I think they're starting to live more like this. Look at Google and the Google complex. It's like, that's not a common corporation, It's like, that's not common modes of living. They're getting into the sense of what Walden Pond's talking about. I think there's an argument there. Okay, so, yet they honestly think there is no choice left. So they've chosen the common mode, but they honestly think there's no other way out. There's nothing else to do. There's no other way. It's just the way life is. You work day in, day out, and you get by, and that's the way life is, kid. Get used to it, right? Who hasn't told you that? But alert and healthy natures Remember that the sun rose clear. It is never too late to give up our prejudices. No way of thinking or doing, however ancient, can be trusted without proof. What everybody echoes or in silence passes by as true today may turn out to be falsehood tomorrow, mere smoke of opinion, which some had trusted for a cloud that would sprinkle fertilizing rain on their fields. Interesting how he turned that metaphor. So, mere smoke of opinion, the falsehood of tomorrow, mere smoke of opinion, which some had trusted for a cloud, a rainy cloud, but it's actually just smoke. They thought it was a rain cloud that was going to fertilize their fields. And you look in the financial industry, and everybody says, buy now, this is going up, this is great, we're in a major bear market, da 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 da. You hear everybody talk about this stuff, it's like, it's just smoke of opinion. And you think that that's going to actually mean anything. You think it's going to get you rain, fertilizer on your fields, going to get you all this money or something. Or even, certain, corrupt churches and preachers that say, give me all your money, we'll take care of you, we will save your soul from the devil, and, blah, blah, blah. Or the old ancient ways where they would say, you're not ancient, but, in the 1500s, where, the church would say, give us money and we'll save your soul for heaven if you pay us. Mere smoke of opinion, which some had trusted for a cloud that would sprinkle fertilizing rain on their fields. You've got to check it out. Without proof, no way of thinking or doing, however ancient, can be trusted without proof. That's why I say Walden Pond is a scientific experiment where he is testing out the true necessaries and means of life and what it means to live. And we are reading his findings. That's what we're doing. And can we understand what he's telling us? That's what I'm here to try to help with, is, break down this text, and we are really breaking it down to help you get inserted into it and hopefully give you a kickstart and you can go read it yourself and figure out your own opinions about it. So, I personally love this part. What old people say you cannot do, you try and find that you can. Old deeds for old people, and new deeds for new. Old people did not know enough once, perchance, to fetch fresh fuel to keep the fire a-going. New people put a little dry wood under a pot, and are whirled round the globe with the speed of birds, in a way to kill old people, as the phrase is. Notice how, in this sense, Thoreau here he's talking about being industrious, being innovative, and economically speaking, he's in support of people using their imagination, using technology to create better services and goods and abilities. They're whirled around the globe with the speed of birds. He's in support of that. He's in support of innovation. One more proof for you that if we all lived like Walden Pond, we'd be even better off. I'm just creating an argument for you. You tell me if it's true or not. Age is no better, hardly so well qualified for an instructor as youth, for it has not profited so much as it has lost. Okay, so what's the logic here he's saying? He says, the older you are, the less qualified you become as an instructor for youth, because you've lost more than you've gained. He's saying, most people have given up their soul, given up their heart, given up their passion for 9-to-5 doldrums or whatever, some quiet desperation. So why should you tell me what to do? What the heck do you know? You have a terrible life. That's basically what Thoreau's saying. One may almost doubt if the wisest man has learned anything of absolute value by living. Practically, the old have no very important advice to give the young. Their own experience has been so partial, and their lives have been such miserable failures for private reasons, as they must believe. And it may be that they have some faith left which belies that experience, and they are only less young than they were. I have lived some 30 years on this planet, and I have yet to hear the first syllable of valuable or even earnest advice from my seniors. They have told me nothing, and probably cannot tell me anything to the purpose. Here is life, an experiment, to a great extent untried by me. But it does not avail me that they have tried it. If I have any experience which I think valuable, I am sure to reflect that this my mentors said nothing about. Wow. Is that not some lines for you? This guy's around like 30 years old when he's writing this. He sounds like a 17-year-old, right? But boy, is there not some truth to that? I mean, how much advice have you gotten from people, and how much of it has been really valuable for you? Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. So, okay, sorry about that. So, yeah, so that is some lines right there. I think they speak for themselves, and I don't know how much time we've had on this. I might have to, this is going to be a lot of videos. I think we'll have to end there. And if I want to do another post, I'll just do another one real quickly. So we'll end this now, and we've gone through a lot here. But you can see how he talks about this life as an experiment. He's talking scientifically, and all about testing it out, using proof, treating it like a science experiment, and listening to really nobody, except your own experience, what you've found to be true, and no matter who they are, and they might say, well, I know more, I've spent more time on this planet than you have, I've got more age under my belt. Thoreau's saying it doesn't mean anything. What matters is your experience, and that's what always is going to matter. Don't listen to anybody. Go by what you know. And, yeah. So we're going to end it there, and I guess the whole idea is look at this. I really like to think of Walden Pond as like the first kind of documentary that was ever made. And I think it's a great, healthy way to look at it, in an accurate way, in the sense of if we were to have film back then, he would be doing a documentary. But it would be different than a normal documentary on PBS or something. It would be, something with much more elements and depth and tones to it. But this is like a literary documentary of a person's experience for 2 years in the woods, and what he's doing there. He's not just in the woods. He's there for a purpose and a reason, and a social, personal, scientific, theological, philosophical experiment, economical experiment. And so when you're reading, think of it like that. We're trying to get rid of the things of life that are no longer necessary, getting to what is truly necessary in life, getting into what truly is that we love, that's truly with what works for us, outside of everything else, and just seeing what we can do with that, and what will be done to us when we do that. What visitors will we get? Will we get visitors from, the old settler, the original proprietor, and the ruddy, lusty old dame of Mother Earth? Will amazing things happen to us if we do this? This is a scientific experiment. Will we get ourselves out of this quiet desperation and this, this resigned life of just poverty and continual, boredom, really? Will we get wisdom and courage and audacity and innovation? So that's how we will end today. And I'll probably do another post just right after this, just because I'm on a roll, so why not? Okay, feel free to post your comments and questions below or on YouTube, and hope you enjoyed. And as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this stuff. I love this stuff, so, here we go. Have a good one, and happy reading.